So we decided to join prpl to make sure that it's well understood that for good security you can get end-to-end trust. And to do that you need to have interoperability of components. So end-to-end security is all about making sure that you've gone right the way from a device manufacturing process all the way through to attaching the device and making sure it can talk to services in a way that can be trusted so that you know what's talking to what, and then you can provide the services in a nice secure way. So the IoT environment is fragmented, and that's why it's really important to be out in an industry organisation. We need to make sure that we have interoperability, and we need to make sure that we can get that architecture right so that we can have the interoperability between the components, and the way to do that is to establish the architecture through a Consortium. So PUF is all about being able to get the DNA of the endpoint in such a way that you don't have to store something. By doing this you have protection against cloning, and you have that genuine serial number of the device that's actually made up of the device itself. So it's great to have the endpoint security, but you need to have cloud services that are able to harness that security and do so in a way that allows you to have that end-to-end trust. So in the cloud we need to provide key management that can talk down to the devices, harness that security that's inherent on them, and make sure that we can open up the right communication channels in a very secure way. Privacy is always a topic that comes up around IoT and connected devices. And what's important here is to make sure that you have the right key management in place, to have the right identities in place, to have the separation of concerns, and to make sure you don't reuse them. And then also having the right keys in there to enable you to do encryption in the right place so that your data is protected end to end between the device and the service that's going to consume it. So at the moment, with the Trust Continuum, we're looking at the architecture and establishing how this is all going to fit together. From that, we'll then be able to publish that architecture and then drive down into the APIs and defining those APIs. So we're hoping that during the latter part of this year and early into next year, we'll have that basic architecture in place, and then from that we will start to establish those APIs. So I'm Nick Cook, the Chief Innovations Officer at Intercede, and today I am prpl.